so far to go.
Hey guys, so what an introduction, I must say. This game is the one that started it all, is it not? Just listen to that music. It takes me back, all the way back, to at least 2003 or 4. I remember I was sick, and whenever my sisters and I would get sick, our dad would go to the store. We would get ice cream, Canada Dry ginger ale, and he would always get my sister a stuffed animal, and then I would get a video game or another. And this happened to be one of the titles that he brought home, believe it or not. So he did a lot of good there. I really did play a lot of the best games growing up. It doesn't get more iconic than Ace Combat 4 in my opinion. So we're going to go ahead and just go through each mission. I think I'm going to keep each one as one episode. During dialogue, I'm going to try and keep... I'm not going to talk over the dialogue as much as possible, except during the missions, but... and let's just go ahead and take a look and make sure settings are configured. I think my audio should be fine, but this is going to be the test. And of course this is being emulated, so you're going to see some graphical glitches here and there like we did in the intro video. Can't be avoided. I've tinkered with the settings, so it's as good as it can possibly get from what I can make it. Heat meters, just taking a look, making sure that okay, on, definitely want to make sure the captions are on. There's so, like, this game, for me as a kid, and even now, there's so much combat dialogue going on during the missions. Like, it really makes the game, like, before, never experienced anything like it, so it's just phenomenal. And all these settings seem to be looking pretty good. Screen position, don't need to worry about that. Oh yeah. Yeah, I grew up with a PlayStation 2 and didn't get an Xbox 360 until I was like 15 or so. A little bit before then, but I saved up every dime I could, and the first 360 titles I had were Halo 3 ODST, which is still my favorite. I don't care what anyone has to say. And I also had Forza 3. And that right there is real motorsport racing. I don't really care for the Horizon titles that they came out with. I played one, but I never kept up with it. Tutorial, we don't need that. There's nothing to load. So we will go ahead and set it to hard. I'm feeling pretty confident. Right in my heart.
I was just a child when the stars fell from the skies. But I remember how they built a cannon to destroy them. And in turn how that cannon brought war upon us. War was an abstract idea, nothing more than a show on TV. As a child, I only saw it as something that happened in some faraway land. Until that final day of summer. One day while on my way to school, I looked up in the skies. A sound like distant thunder. In the blue skies far above me, contrails drew dizzying circles around in a crazy waltz. battle in the beautiful skies far away. I could not tear my gaze away from them. A deafening roar. Sharp silhouettes appeared, as if to graze the hills and streak past me. The fighters played the cat or the mouse in turn as they climbed swiftly into the sky. One fleeing plane fell out of the skies, spiraling and spewing orange flames to crash by the Cape. The same Cape where my family lived. Now they only live in my memories of days past. The victor circled around to confirm the kill. And on his craft, there was a large number 13 emblazoned in yellow. I will never forget this. The Allies retreated across the ocean before the onslaught of the enemy. Our little town in the heart of the mainland fell into deep isolation.
4 years after the planetfall of the Ulysses 1994 XF-04 asteroids, Stonehenge, the Erusian weapon of mass destruction, was originally built to shoot down asteroids. Upon discovering its potential as an anti-aircraft weapon, the Erusians ruled the skies over the mainland. The ISAF's attempts to destroy Stonehenge through airstrikes failed. As a result, strategic positions on the mainland were lost. This in turn forced ISAF to evacuate from the east coast to North Point. ISAF GHQ is regrouping its remaining combat forces at North Point. However, the Erusians control most parts of the mainland, and they have forward deployed bombers to Wrigley Air Base, a former ISAF facility. This bomber force will attempt to deal a lethal blow to the ISAF at North Point from this strategic position. Here is the current SITREP and your orders for deployment, effective immediately. Enemy agents destroyed our early warning radar network, allowing several bear bombers to penetrate our airspace. In 15 minutes, we expect this bomber formation to strike Allen Ford Air Base and then move on to targets at North Point. Our air defense forces are extremely weak at this point in time, hence our GHQ is a sitting duck. It is mission critical that you destroy the bombers and neutralize the threat before they get past Newfield Island. Remember, you are the first line of defense for North Point, and the fate of ISAF lies in your hands.
Okay, so they just laid it on story, a little bit of backstory. I mean, how can you not have that tug at your heartstrings? I mean, asteroids and meteors just, well, I guess it's just meteors, but falling out of the sky. So they make an anti-meteor weapons platform. War breaks out, and it's used as a super weapon. Like, I don't know, but the storytelling in this, phenomenal. This was one of the first anime type things that I had seen as well. It's not quite anime, but it was like the gateway for it. Just the storytelling. I mean, Bandai Namco, top notch right there. The first anime I ever saw was actually Gundam Wing. We used to stay at my grandfather's house every weekend, sometimes overnight, so he had cable, and he spoiled my sister and I so much. Snacks, drinks, everything that we didn't get at home, cable, and with that came Toonami. So I had a lot of good content to watch growing up here. But then the iconic briefings, I can't even get on enough about how amazing this is. The music. Oh, and then the briefings, and then here, let's see, left analog stick, move combat area. So the target here, of course, is the bombers who got through the early warning radars. So it's just going to be us few against those. This is a very short, quick mission. Now, I'm not going to try... This is the next thing. Every mission can be ranked. I forget what the lowest rank is, but it can go all the way up to S, so let's just say F through S, which, if you're not aware, in most Asian Japanese games, specifically, they all have a ranking system, and it goes from F being the worst, or whatever the lowest that they have is. Sometimes it's C, but well, F is the example, up through rank A, A being the best, of course, but if you can do even better than that, if you are the native-born overachiever they believe that you are, as you turn Japanese, you can get that S rank. I don't know that it's going to happen for every mission. It's based on your score, it's based on time, and I don't think aircraft damage or refueling, well, you don't have to worry about fuel in this game, but going back to rearm, that doesn't affect it, but it does hurt because you have to fly back as fast as you can to rearm and then back into the zone in order to continue the fight. So I don't think damage taken affects it either, but you don't want to take too much damage, especially not on the hard difficulty, which I hope that's what I selected. I'll check the recording to make sure I did, because I don't remember now. There's been so many things, but let's go ahead and get on with it here. Start. So we can't buy or sell anything yet. We already went through the options. I'll worry about the saving later. Nothing to buy, briefing, so we can only start the mission. And there's a variety of aircraft on here. As you can see, there's I'm counting them: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. There's 20 aircraft that you can have initially, but if you can S rank every single mission, you get, I think it's the XO1, which is seen in Ace Combat 7 under one of the DLCs. Which I'll get to Ace Combat 7 eventually, I hope. Fingers crossed. Phenomenal game. Nothing, in my opinion, will ever be as good as Ace Combat 4. It's just that iconic. Don't get me wrong, Ace Combat 7, phenomenal. The DLC brought back some of the wonder and awe that some of the boss fights have here, and yes, they do have boss fights. It's incredible. Just Ace Combat 7 is a beautiful, beautiful reference to Ace Combat 4. And then one other title that I wanted to bring up too is Project Nimbus and then Project Wingman. Despite the naming, it's two different games entirely. Project Nimbus is kind of like a mecha. I like it a lot. It's really fun. I'm going to be doing that one here at some point or another. And then Project Wingman is a super amazing flight simulator combat, so it's kind of like this but different. It's got a couple of different fun mechanics that you can mess around with. It's phenomenal. You have to have a controller to play it. You cannot play it mouse and keyboard. Try as you might, you have to have a controller. So, but we'll go ahead and get started. Here we have the iconic, the phenomenal F4E. I believe its code name is a Phantom. I don't, but this is what you start her off with. So let's go ahead and, yep, unguided bombs. We're not going to be using those. Also, since it's an emulator, traditionally, in order to accelerate the aircraft, you have to press and hold the R1. I rebound that to be the R2, so it's just easier. Because the rebind, so I accelerate and slow down with the R2s, and then I can use the tail yaw on the bumpers. So I am playing this with an Xbox controller. It's a superior controller. Fight me. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Yes, Mobius 1. This is where it all started, folks. No, Mobius 1. Oh. Oh yeah. Ooh, man. If you don't get goosebumps seeing the Mobius 1 insignia on a tail, you're doing it wrong. Alright.
AWACS here. Call sign Sky Eye. Do you read? Your call sign is Mobius Run. We'll refer to you by this name at all times. You are now under my command. 6 bombers on Vector 360 confirmed. Continue north.
Yeah, the graphical artifacts there, I can't do anything for those.
Sure would be nice. Mobius 1.
So we're just gonna have to live with them. Just pretend they're not there, and it's 2004, and you're playing this on a CRTV or a CRT TV.
Mobius 1 shot down a bear. Bomber's been hit. There's the good welcoming party.
I am gonna try and shoot everything down in this mission because that's the only way. Yeah. To get an S rank on this one. So if I can, I'm going to S rank them. But it's not going to happen for everyone on the first try. I think I will go ahead and have this be one playlist, and then I'll have a second with I can get the okay. There's one more set, but I'm gonna try and do. He's coming toward me. Where is he?
Bandits in gun range.
But I'm gonna do a playlist with S ranks and then just the initial playthrough. So I'm gonna, if I need to redo it to get an S rank, I will, and then that'll be part of a different playlist later on.
Shot down a bandit. 8 miles to the target.
And then now, as far as aircraft, I don't know that I'm gonna try and use a complete variety. Like I'm not gonna showcase every aircraft, at least not initially. The SUs are my favorite, so I'm mostly gonna stick with that. Of course, you have to use the F-14 Tomcat for a few missions for loadout purposes, for some of the dogfight ones, but. Yeah, and then up there in the corner you can see the points.
Good job.
Booyah. S rank. So this will probably be about one episode. I'll try and cut it up.
Whose kill was that? Make sure to thank him.
Every kill is Mobius 1, so... It does have a replay function, so you can like review. I never understood why. It's cool, I love it, don't want to see it gone, but even now I'm not 100% sure why we have this replay mode, just especially on PS2, you know, it just, I don't know, beyond me. But it's amazing that it records it from every single angle, or however they have that set up. Like, I think this is the weapons view, so every time you shoot a missile, it follows it. Yeah, yep. See, that's just, I don't know. I don't think it's any better than this here, but for the most part, I will go ahead and skip these.
Thanks to your efforts, the enemy bomber strike was averted. However, our victory will be meaningless should you fail the next mission.
I won't fail. Well, failure is always an option. Don't forget that. But you miss 100% of the shots you never take. So, but this screen, I love this screen. Like, it just shows all of the loops, zigs, and zags that you do, and it just goes through everything, like the post-mission briefing. I don't know. I love this screen too. It's just this game. I don't know. For me, it's like top tier. It's just amazing. I'll probably, for my videos, I'll show this one way through, but I'll try not to loop it twice. And see on here, we have the S rank bonus, so it gave us 60k extra. I believe that changes based on the mission, and then we get money for the points that we earned, which we use to buy aircraft and other loadouts, which again, extremely important, because some missions can only be done by some aircraft in order to get S rank. Just my experience, of course. With the XO1, if you S rank everything and you get that bad boy, then you can go ahead and it works for every mission. It's just phenomenal. And then in a lot of the missions, I think when you replay them, they will have one aircraft that's on the complete opposite side of the objectives, and you can see it on the mini-map, and it's only visible for a short period of time, like it flies off the map. But if you can go there and shoot it down, it will be a different camouflage pattern for the aircraft that it is. I don't know if I'm gonna be getting all of those. I did it on the PlayStation a long time ago, but it's a thing and it's there. So if you know where to look and what time they appear, you have a limited window to go get them. So it's just that adds a little extra visual oomph to everything. I'm not sure what the next screen is because I don't want the next briefing to be in this video because I don't have editing yet.
The war seemed to unfold in the blink of an eye. I don't remember exactly when the forces from the west occupied my town. I was too busy scanning the skies day after day, waiting for Yellow 13 to reappear. Before I knew it, everything changed. The language they taught us at school. Our friendly local sheriff disappeared and was replaced by foreign MPs. In the beginning, some people secretly tuned into broadcasts from North Point on their parabolic antennas. But as time passed, the broadcast no longer came in. Maybe the satellites were destroyed. All non-military computer networks were shut down. Gasoline was rationed to civilians. Though we lived in the 21st century, we were reduced to using crystal radios and horse-drawn carts. I moved in with my uncle in town, who used to be a taxi driver. Out of gasoline and out of work, my uncle did nothing but to drown himself in drink. I earned my keep by playing the harmonica in the town bar, the one thing I was good at. I'd play for sullen occupation soldiers in exchange for their charity and loose change, and used the money to support my uncle and myself. My uncle trash-talked the barkeep who catered to the enemy soldiers, but he never refused the money I brought home. As for myself, I had a crush on the barkeep's only daughter, who was a little older than me. Another day passed, yet still no sign of the fighter plane Yellow 13 in the skies above our town.
Okay, so I'm hoping that it's a pre-mission cutscene and then a post-mission. I just don't remember. But we will go ahead and I'm just going to save it here. And we're going to call this the first episode. So thank you very much for joining me. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you here for the next one. Peace.